Okay, so in this video here, I'm going to show you how to use some conditional formatting with Google Sheets. Now, what I've been doing for a lot of my stuff is, let's say I want the students to type their name and then their partner's name, and I can use, let's say I want those cells to merge. Whole video on how to do that if you really want that. Now, let's say I want to indicate to these students, I want this stuff to be yellow. I want it so that you see, hey, these are yellow, that means you need to fill in your name. So unfortunately, the problem is when they type, even though you formatted the background, it's not going to change. And of course, why should you expect it to change? It's just a cell that you colored. Well, conditional formatting does actually give you the ability to change that background, change how you're filling it based on what's going in there. So let's do an example here. Let's say I want this cell to be green when it's done. So whenever they type something in there, green will show them that they're all done. However, I want it to be yellow when it's not done. So I take this cell, which I turn green, and I'm going to do conditional formatting. So you right click on that and go to conditional formatting, and I'm going to change it. If the cell is empty, that means if there's nothing in it, then change that background color to be yellow. So this way, when it's empty, it's going to trigger this yellow background. And right now, it's empty. But if I type something, it's going to change from yellow to green. I've been using this as a way to indicate to the students, hey, anything that's yellow, you need to do. Anything that's green, you're done. That's the basics of that. Again, you just right click, go to conditional formatting, and you can change it to whatever you want. You could do cell is empty. You could say, we have a couple other rules here, but I've been using the cell is empty and then change the background color to whatever. Now, there's other little things you can do where you can kind of put in more complex stuff. Like, I want the cell to change color depending upon what it is. So let's say I go to conditional formatting. Let's say the text contains the word Luke. Well, in that case, let's change the background color to be green. So anytime I type the word Luke or it finds the word Luke inside there, it's going to change that background cell to be green. At the moment, it's blank. But let's say I type Luke, it's going to turn it green. Let's say I type anything else, and it's not going to trigger that. But I could do even more than that. So again, right-clicking, go to conditional formatting. Let's add another rule on top of that. Let's say text contains the word Vader. In that case, let's change the background color to be red. So now I have two rules that are at play, and obviously you can't have both of them, but it's really only going to have one or the other. Let's say I type in Luke, turns green, Vader turns red. So when it's empty, it doesn't have anything. So depending upon what students put in there, depending upon what it's typed, it's going to change that background color. That is conditional formatting. There's a lot of things you can do with this, but this is just the basics. This is what I've been using. Yellow to students means they need to fill it out. Green means they've completed that answer.